It's another day and another keto recipe. Today I'm going to make something that is very original, like a hand-me-down recipe. Oh, my dog's got to make noise, so she's got to play with her toys while I'm talking. That's just, I could start over, but there she goes. See, she's dropping her bone. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to make this thing, and it's called egg and ham bake. And I have named this so many times, it's silly. But it's going to be a layered dish, and it's going to be baked. So you have to allow for an overnight thing with this because it has to sit overnight. So it's not something you could just quickly throw together and have it in the morning. But it's so good that you'll want to serve it up for brunch or breakfast the next day. Now the ingredients for this recipe isn't too complicated. There's not a lot. I have homemade bread, eggs, ham, which I'm going to mince up, dice up, make real small. I've got shredded cheese, but I also have sliced cheese, and I have pork skins or pork rinds. I think they're the same thing, I hope, because I bought pork skins. And that's going to be the egg dish. Now for the sauce that's going over this egg dish, believe it or not, it's going to have a sauce. I have something that is going to be like mushroom soup. Actually, it is homemade mushroom soup, okay? And it's made up of the bone broth, a little white wine vinegar, also some heavy cream, butter, chopped onions, of course, mushrooms, and to thicken it up, some xanthan gum. And that's going to be the ingredients for the gravy. All right, we're going to start with mincing up, dicing up, shredding up, whatever you call it, this ham. Now this is the first time I actually purchased ham in slices, because I normally get it already diced for me, minced, or you can dice it yourself. But I'm going to try this in my food processor, so you're witnessing a experiment, first time experiment in front of your eyes. But let's get this going. It's going to be noisy. Here we go. Did it. Just the way I like it. Look at this. Oh, I'm going to make a bunch of noise here. Look at this beautiful. That's just the way we want it. All shredded to pieces. While we have the food processor out, we might as well do the mushrooms that go in the cream of mushroom soup part, which is going to be later, but still, if we have this ready, that'll be pretty nice, won't it? All right, let's see if this is going to be enough. That should be most plenty for the cream of mushroom soup I'm going to be doing. Let's take a look at that. See that? Oh, nice and shredded. Now, I have winged this recipe so many times in the past, let me get in the shot here, that I decided to measure what I threw together, that I've always just kind of, oh, this looks good. But the amount of the mushrooms turned out to be 2 cups, and the ham is 1.5. It's not an exact science, so you can wing it yourself, but I have to put something down for measurements on the ingredients on the recipe list, so there you have it. We've got that going on. So far, so good. Got the mushrooms, got the ham, and now we're going to do the eggs. Let's whisk that up. I've got 6 eggs in here. Got to measure everything. I'm going to add a little heavy cream in there. I'll be right back. For the heavy cream, I'm actually using the heavy whipping cream. This is organic because it's a little thicker, and I want to put that in the eggs just a little bit, like a pinch of salt, a pinch of heavy whipping cream. Here we go. Oh, and let's not forget salt. Here I am stepping out of the shot again. All right, little Himalayan salt. And now let's continue whipping that up. We're ready to layer. Moving right along, I have a 7x9 baking dish that I'm going to do this dish in. I'm going to spray the avocado oil in it. You would have a bigger baking dish and increase your eggs and other ingredients for a larger family that you might be feeding. But me, just smaller portions. We're going to start the first layer with the homemade bread. I actually had it cut a little too thick. I wonder if I should cut that thinner. Decisions. If I do one layer, if I did that. 1, 2. I just want to cover the bottom. Let's see, I'll cut a slice off of this one. Here we go. And then we've got the bottom pretty much filled. See that? All right, so we've got our bottom layer of bread. Then we're going to put in ham. This is the second layer. Oh, Nikki, quit begging. My dog is scratching at the cupboard as she smells the food happening. And I'm just going to throw all this yummy ham. Actually, it's not going to take all of it. Again, I said it totaled 1.5 cups. Probably 1 cup was going to be good enough, but let's see. I'm really covering all of it. I'll show you in a second that it gets all covered. Even the part of the dish that doesn't have bread in it, yeah, I'm going to throw the whole caboodle in there. And if you hear scratching noises, that is my dog, Nikki. All right, so that's pretty covered. See that? All right, so that's our ham layer. This is confusing because this is mushrooms and that's part of the soup, not the recipe for this. Now we're going to do the cheese layer. Now I have cheddar cheese slices, and I'm going to put that on top of the ham layer, and voila. Actually, I probably have to cut. You just cut to size as you go along. Nikki, go outside and quit bugging me. And again, now you have your ham layer. No wonder this comes out different every time I make it. I didn't have the ham for another layer. So over the cheese, I'm just going to put another bread layer over it. I did slice this up to be a little bit thinner. I'm going to do it this way, change it up. And now I've got some bread going in that direction. No, you know what? I'm going to do one more layer of cheese, and then I'm going to do the shredded cheese layer. Okay, and then the last of it, again, I'm going to cut up in half so that I got the whole topping. There we go. All right, so now I've got another topping of that. I'm just going to sprinkle it with shredded cheese. I like a lot of cheese in egg dishes. So it'll also be high fat dish. Good fat. Nikki, quit making so much noise. All right, so now it's looking like that. Oh, I've got the sun glaring on it. I don't know. Can you see that very good? All right. Well, let me take it off and do a little bit closer. Doesn't that look nicer? Yeah, there we go. There we have it. Okay, let's now put the egg over this whole thing. It's going to soak right in. I may take a look at it and decide to put more egg in this recipe, but because it's going to soak in overnight, you're going to refrigerate this, and in the morning you won't even see the egg. It'll be so soaked in. Here we go. It's looking pretty good. This particular size, I'm thinking 8 eggs, so I'm going to beat up a couple more eggs. And if that isn't enough, I'll add one more. A little gooey, there we go. I just don't want it to overflow because it soaks right into the bread. Yeah, I'm thinking one more egg. Wow, you're watching me wing it right before your eyes. Well, at least I'll know what to end up with for the ingredients measurements. For this size dish, it looks like it's going to be 8 eggs. Probably wouldn't hurt to have more. Let me bring the camera down a little lower so we can see that. That's what it's going to look like before it goes in the refrigerator. All right, so I'll step back so I can get in the shot. We're not going to add the pork rinds or anything else until we're ready to bake this. So when we pull it out, it's going to bake at 350 for 1 hour. That's a long time. And I'm going to have to finish up this video tomorrow so that you can see when I take it out of the refrigerator what we do with it next and what it will look like after everything is soaked in. Okay, so until tomorrow. Now there's no sense in waiting till tomorrow to prepare the cream of mushroom sauce or soup. So I'm going to put that on medium flame, and I put in 2 tablespoons of the butter in there. Gotta get a thing to stir this up. Get that going. All right, now the mushrooms are going to go in here. And I've only got 1/3 cup of onions because on the keto diet, if you're on low carb, onions are a little bit higher in the carb vegetable department. So I'm going to use it a little sparingly for this recipe. But normally, I love cream and mushroom soup with lots of onions, so I've compensated for that by having a lot of onion powder in this. I'll be adding that when we move along. Actually, I think I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in here as well, because that soaked up the butter pretty fast. So that's been going at it for a few minutes, nice and bubbly. I think that's ready for everything else. We're going to drop in the, I'm using bone broth, but you can use chicken broth. Bone broth is very healthy for the keto diet, and so it's always my preference whenever I can, whenever I need broth, I tend to use the bone broth. And now I'm going to use the heavy cream. Oh, someone's knocking at my door. I'll have to be right back. Okay, that's just a friend of mine who has arrived, and there might be some noise. So, all right, so that's that, and I'm going to add the coconut milk. That's a thicker blend of coconut milk. Usually it's thinner. My dog is excited to see my friend. All right, and now all the seasoning I just put in together. There we go. And we're going to stir that up. Oh, and the white wine. This is just a pinch of the white wine. Let's stir that up. To thicken it, what I did was I took the xanthan gum and I put in a pinch of water, because the problem with the xanthan gum is a thickening. You could use flour. That might even be better, but I already decided to use this. It's now a thick paste because I blended it with water, but it won't be so lumpy, which is why I mixed it with water first. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in a jar and heat it up for tomorrow when I'm ready for the sauce. If it needs more thickening, I will be thickening. It should cook a little bit longer, and then we just heat it up for tomorrow when we want the sauce over that egg dish. Quiet. Are we recording? All right. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. I took it out of the refrigerator. There it is, all soaked in there. Let's get the pork rinds all mushed up. I actually, in the past, I've used cornflake cereal to sprinkle on the top. We're going to sprinkle this on the top because cornflakes is a bad thing. And this is because I don't have my makeup on yet, you know what I mean? I'm going to get this in the oven so I can have it for breakfast. All right. Let's get this show on the road. I'll just triple it with my hands. This is going to make it crispy as a topping. which we want. And I did forget one thing. So I've got to do that. I'm melting a half a stick of butter because, believe it or not, that's what goes over this whole thing before it goes in the oven. I almost forgot that. So that wasn't in my beginning part of the video. That looks like a good enough coating, maybe a little bit more. And yes, I can see what I'm doing. Barely. Making a huge mess. All right, let's pour the butter on top. You don't need to see me melting that. Okay, and here's the melted butter going on top over the crispy pork rinds. Gonna pour all of that. There we go. Now it's ready to go in the oven for 1 hour. All right, let's do it. Okay, we have finished cooking time, and here it is. It's gorgeous. I'm going to cut into it. I actually have let this sit for like 15 minutes just to cool down a little bit because I don't want it to burn my mouth when I take a bite. So I'm cutting the slice. Oh, this is exciting. This is my wet hair day. Okay, here we go. The taste test comes up. So this is what it looks like cut up into a slice. It's pretty bready. And now we're going to top that. Let's move this over. Get everything in the picture. See that? Okay. I already heated the cream of mushroom sauce soup. And I'm going to pour, let's put it in the middle of the plate. I'm going to pour this over the top. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That looks like enough for me. And that is with the sauce. It's a beautiful thing. People love this. I used to make this every year during the holidays for brunch. And there wasn't anyone who did not like this. So now I'm going to take a bite. You can watch me eat it. Oh my. It's still hot. Wow. It's so good. Okay. I know you want to taste this, don't you? There you go.